Wait for it. Guys, welcome to the series that I'm going to call Taking the Risk. This is going to be a series where I document my unfiltered journey of a full-time day trader, showing you guys insights on my trading strategy, taking you through days in the life, and just taking you through a little bit of my lifestyle and what I get up to on a day-to-day basis. I've been wanting to start this series for a little while, to be honest. However, when I decided I wanted to start it, I was also in the process of potentially moving away for a little while. So you can see right now that where I currently am doesn't look like the UK. I actually am from the UK, you can probably tell by the voice. And yeah, I'm kind of taking it all in right now, getting away from the UK and really kind of honing in on the trading process, and also focusing on, you know, my habits outside of trading, which I think is very important. Hopefully you're going to be able to take a lot of value away, not just in terms of trading, but also in terms of my lifestyle and some of the habits that I get up to on a day-to-day basis. And on a Monday, London market open, I just let the market do its thing. I don't want to dive straight in, you know, oh, it's Monday, market's open, I need to trade. I'm a big believer in less is more. If I can just scale up slowly rather than rushing the process, I'd much rather do so. So what we have planned for the day, I'm going to hit London session. I'm about to trade New York a little bit later on in the day. Then I'm going to go to the gym and then probably do a cold plunge. I live literally like 5 minutes away from the coast, and we got some really nice beaches here in Cyprus. These videos are for educational purposes. If you're someone that's a day trader, or you know, looking at becoming a trader, you're in the trading space, or you're just on a journey of self-improvement, I'm hoping that you can take some value away from these videos. You know, I'm only 22, I've taken a massive risk. I've left my full-time job to pursue trading full-time. Got myself a mentor who is incredibly profitable. If you are watching this video, you're a trader, you're a little bit alone in the space, feel free to check the link down below. You'll find a community there with a load of information, and you'll also be able to kind of message me one-to-one. If you drop a comment on this video with your Discord name, I'll happily drop you a DM. With that being said, let's crack on with the day. We're on a call with the team. Got all the boys in here, and then obviously we're just having a little look. So obviously I trade futures specifically. You can see here that this is the Asia range. ES has already swept Asia low and NQ hasn't. So they're very much out of sync right now. So quite simply, I'm just gonna sit back, sit on my hands, and probably not do anything for this session. Have a little look at New York later on and see if we get anything more probable. We've just finished trading London session. No trades taken, obviously. With it being on Monday, I'm more than happy just to kind of sit on my hands, let the market do its thing, get a bit more of a directional bias. We were pretty much chopping between the Asian range all morning. So now I'm gonna go head to the gym. My plan in the gym, I'm going to train a bit of push, so it's going to be shoulders, it's going to be chest, and then probably do some triceps as well. So it's going to be a pretty good day. And then after I've done that, we're going to hit the cold plunge. So with that being said, let's do it. Yeah, I do wear socks and sliders, don't judge me, they're comfortable, alright. Okay, so little trade breakdown for New York session today. Relatively clean price action, to be fair, going into New York. Start of the session was very slow though, we just had a massive sell-off. Without further ado, I'm just going to get straight into the breakdown. So coming from London session, we was relatively choppy. Obviously we trade London and New York. Obviously there wasn't a lot of volume, we were just consolidating pretty much all session. So about 10 o'clock I just decided I'm not watching this any longer, I'm going to go do something else with my day. As soon as New York session opened, we basically sold off on a 15-minute time frame. I was pretty confident we were going to sell off. We ended up sweeping these highs post-open, so I was like, okay, well, most likely we're going to probably take these lows. We ended up pushing down relatively nicely. That gave us a nice little range to kind of play with. So once we identified this range, we were looking for a retracement into discount to then potentially go short, which we did end up getting that setup, which is a relatively textbook setup for us. This happens time and time again in the market, and luckily we're there Monday to Friday to try and capitalize on these moves. Now, in terms of this trade, I actually didn't catch this. A couple of people in the Discord did, but there's a reason why, and I'm going to talk you through it. So if we come onto the 2-minute time frame, you can firstly see that we had what we call a div. Some people call this an SMT. It's just a divergence in the market where NQ obviously created a low. ES ended up taking this high, as you can see here. So this indicates to me that if this is a bearish div, most likely if NQ is the weaker pair, we're probably going to want to push down, and same with ES, because if you're not too familiar with the kind of futures markets, NQ and ES move very similarly, so they move in sync. And when you get something like this, which is a divergence, it can happen on lows, like there's one just down here. You can see this candle has just taken this one on NQ. If you have a look, you see how it's done the opposite. This didn't get taken. So that again would be our div. So we obviously had the div. I was looking for a kind of retracement to then obviously into discount to maybe go long. Didn't catch this one, unfortunately, just because there was no real target for me. The reason I say this is because we have this massive gap here that we could just retrace from. Also this gap here that we could just retrace from. So once we came into discount and we started to get choppy up here, we obviously had this div where obviously ES took this high, NQ didn't, and we started stalling, meaning that price is exhausted, it's not looking to go higher, we're obviously rejecting this level. So if we can get a closure below this 2-minute gap, if I just remove it here, you can see this 2-minute gap, I will look to take a short. Now what I'm looking for in a gap like this, and I'm going to try draw this out as best as I can, because reading candlestick behavior is so important, and if you can understand candlestick behavior, it's going to help you a lot with your entries in trading. So this is a gap. I don't want to see price do this, consolidate on this gap, consolidate, and then get a closure below. Why? Because it just shows to me that there's a lot of indecision in the market. All I'm looking for is a flush. I'm looking for price to come into this gap. We've had a slight retracement, and I'm just looking for price just to push down, and I want it to do it quick. With the volume in NQ, if you're going to enter a trade with volume, you're either going to be right quick or you're going to be wrong quick, and we just want to get on the right side of that. So we trade with the momentum. So if I play the next candle here, where's the button? There it is. You'll see here that we had a very strong close. This candle closed like this. Now with this candle closed, my entry's up here, so I'm not in this trade as of yet. There are two ways you can enter this. You could enter one off this candle closure, stops below the low. Don't know why it's done that. Stops below the low there. And then you could target these lows, which was my original target, relatively clean target. As you can see there, if I can draw properly. Oh my God. There we go. Perfect. So this was our target. You could have targeted this. It wouldn't have been the best risk to reward. The second way you could enter is you could enter off the retracement of the next candle, which is exactly what I was looking for. So I was looking for a return to entry. I was looking for price to return to this gap and then come to target this low. And it would have looked something like this, where price comes up, taps me in, maybe comes into a little bit drawdown and then pushes lower. Unfortunately, this happened. This candle came up a little bit. Now, a couple people in our Discord chat ended up taking the short on this retracement of the candle. They had their stops above this high, and then they targeted this low, which again would have played out really nicely. Unfortunately for me, I didn't. I had it there, but I'm not going to cry about it. At the end of the day, sometimes you're going to miss a trade. I stuck to my plan, and that's the main thing. As you can see, this was our original target. Price did end up playing out really nicely. I think it was on the next candle we ended up hitting take profit. And then a lot of people here would be going, oh, well, you know, this is the strongest draw on liquidity. Yeah, I want to target this low down here. Go for some crazy risk to reward. Me personally, being a scalper, I like to be in and out of the market. And if I can take anything like a 2-hour trade, like even this for me right here is a solid trade, because 1 to 2 is so much more probable than a 1 to 5, a 1 to 6, and so many people go for these massive home runs. For me, it's a case of just going for what works and going for what's more probable. So as you can see, this did play out for a relatively decent risk to reward. We ended up coming out. So in theory, you could have caught a 1 to just about a 1 to 3, 1 to 4, but like I said, I'm not interested in that. So that was the trade from today, and then for the rest of the session I ended up staying, but I wasn't really interested in taking anything else. That was the kind of play for me, and I'm not one to chase price, you know what I mean? Just because I've missed that setup, I'm not going to try getting the next thing that shows, because this right here is textbook. Okay, if I'm seeing this and I get the nice close, I'm going to go for the trade regardless. So this right here is my trading journal. So I think in the next video I'd quite like to kind of run you guys through through some of the trades that I've taken in 2025. Obviously, this is how my trading journal set out. It's really neat and aesthetic. I'm kind of funny about how I like it. But in terms of the breakdowns for some of these trades, so I'm probably going to run through next video all of the trade, well, not all of the trades, but some of the trades that I've taken this year, show you some of the good ones, some of the ones that maybe lost. So that's going to cut it for New York session. My plan's now probably going to get some video editing done, which I probably won't record because it's kind of boring for you guys to watch. But yeah, keep an eye out for the next video because it's going to be heavily trading based. We're going to break down the strategy and go through a lot of detail on that. So yeah, appreciate the support so far, and I'll see you all in the next one. Take care.